Okay, we're on air, and I'm here with some special guests today, um, with that we're going to share for our Google HSTA classroom. That we're going to share some. Each of us is going to share a lesson, and we're going to give each other some feedback, and hopefully we can make these lessons awesome in the classroom, implementing Google. I have some special guests here. Hopefully, Christy can make it later on when she drops in. But to go, first of all, I guess I'm Shane Asselstein from Mominani Elementary School. I'm the Curriculum and Technology Coordinator there, and I've been implementing Google this entire year, or trying to, and it's our first year, so it's kind of a struggle, but we're getting there. I also have Claire here with us. Claire, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Claire Sakata. I'm a teacher at Mccall Elementary School. I teach grade 6, and I teach all subjects. It's kind of crazy.
And what level of Google implementation are you guys at right now?
Currently,
First.
I'm the only 6th grade classroom with a one-to-one with Chromebooks. Also, grades 4 and 5 have Chromebooks, and the entire school has student Google accounts. So that's kind of where we
Awesome.
are. Have a group, have about a have a team of 10 students who I've trained in Google Apps, and I send them out to train the other teachers.
Excellent. Okay,
Ooh,
great.
nice.
And next we have Greg here. And because Greg didn't have sunglasses, he doesn't want to show his face. No, just kidding. He's having camera issues right now. So, Greg?
Hello, I'm Greg McCall. I'm kind of a newbie technology coordinator who's not really the technology coordinator. Um, I know that sounds strange. We just implemented Chromebooks at Castle High School. We are going GAFE this year, so it's midstream right now, beginning of fourth quarter, and we're suddenly doing the switchover. So we passed out Chromebooks to teachers to learn how to use them this week, and we had our first workshop on Friday teaching basic Gmail and how to access Google Drive. And skill levels all over the map. So some of the students know it better. That's why I was laughing a little bit. It might be easier just to train students to go and train
It
teachers,
is.
but we're going to get there. And we have a technology coordinator, but they weren't interested in doing the Google part or the GAF part or the Chromebooks part of adding technology to our school. So I got kind of stuck with it or blessed with it, either one.
Great,
Yeah.
depending on how you look at it. Yeah.
Yep.
I definitely agree that the students are a great way to get the technology out there, to get them implementing it, and you know, put a little bit of pressure on the teachers. But in
Yes.
general, I think eventually the teachers will come around. They'll understand that it is a more
Yeah.
effective, efficient way of getting things done, communicating, and that kind of stuff. So
By the way, I'm a full-time teacher. I have 5 classes on top of this too, so I have at least plenty of chance to experiment in the classroom yet with um, applications and lesson plans and all of that. So
awesome,
yeah.
great. Okay, so we're gonna get to the meat of this. We started a bit late today, about 7:15, so maybe we'll go to about 8:15. The idea is we're gonna at least first start with one lesson. We're each gonna share, and then we'll do some Q&A, maybe some some discussion about what we think how that lesson we think would go, and any kind of advice, things like that we can give to each other. And if we have time, maybe we'll share the second ones. If not, that's okay too. So, who's going to be brave and step up?
I'll go first.
All right, Claire. I'm going to mute myself and it's all yours.
All right, screen share activate. Did it activate? All right, cool.
There we go.
All right, so this is the lesson plan, the first one I'm going to try out. Now, I've tried this before, so I've just laid it out. Common Core standards are mainly writing. So I can write arguments to support claims, clear and coherent writing using tech, and also presenting claims and findings. So roughly it'll take about 60 minutes. So I kind of plan to start this off as a bit of a merge between, what was it? Well, there's an AVID program that we are implementing all across Radford Central District. And the gist of AVID is to get these kids college and career ready. Now, part of that is, of course, thinking more about what they know and seeking information on their own. And so, I'm going to put into this KWLA chart. So the KWLA chart looks like this. This is a student one that I made a template on Google Docs. I have copied it and shared it with all these students across Doctopus, and I am grading it via Kubrick. So this is just one student, and it is a past lesson on brain and memory. So the first column, you can see there's four. First one is K, and second one is W, third one is L, fourth one is A. The kids will complete, when we first start, will complete the K and the W. So this is going to be what they know about artificial intelligence. Now I'm planning to do this like tomorrow. So, here we have artificial intelligence. The kids are pretty advanced, I would say, in Google Apps. So I kind of want them to realize that, hey, if you're not technology savvy, you're going to get controlled by the robots instead of controlling them in the future. There you go. So
First, I'll what is it? I am not I Am Legend. The other one.
Oh yes, yes.
iRobot.
iRobot. Yes, that movie's trippy. But that's kind of close to where we're going right now. We got a lot of robots here that can think on their own now, and so I have them reading these two articles that I saw on PBS Channel 10, which is the computers playing Atari, and where they taught this computer how to beat the game, which was pretty darn cool. In the end, it learned that just by pinging and breaking all the blocks on the left or right side and then sending the ball up to ricochet off the roof was the best way to win. Then they had a follow-up report, maybe a few days after, about how human workers actually preferred taking orders from a computer rather than taking orders from another human. And so, that kind of prompted me to make this lesson. It was kind of a cool idea. So I want the kids to first tell me what they know about artificial intelligence and what they want to know. So have them just kind of prime them for the lesson. Then we're going to switch to the actual articles. We'll read together, share together. And the questions I want these kids to answer are right here. How do you feel about computers thinking for themselves? And how would you feel if your future boss was a computer instead of a human? Or if their future teacher was a computer instead of a human? Because, hey, we do that already. So each student has their own slide. We will all be working on a shared document. And at the end, I'll have them all share it. We'll all share our ideas together. And of course, we finish up with a KWLA chart. So by then, they'll have all four columns finished. This is from a previous lesson last month. So in this case, Angie filled these two slides about what she knew already. And at the end of the lesson, she then told me everything she learned and how she's going to apply that to her life. That's what the A column is, the most important one. So they'll pretty much turn in this chart. I have it linked to Doctopus again, and I'll just send them a rubric to their email. And I'll be good. That's it.
Wow, impressive.
Very.
Woo.
Yeah. For sixth graders, I'm a little bit in awe, and I'm teaching high school.
That's a lot of information for them, definitely. Yeah, it'll be great.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a really good lesson for sure.
Good topic. Yeah.
Well, it sounds kind of fun.
Yeah. Well, and not actually related, but I can remember seeing research on Renaissance for testing and on the grammar correction for teaching grammar. That there's all sorts of research showing people do much better with the grammar corrector and with the reading test off of a computer. When the computer says there's something you need to correct, people don't take it anywhere near personally. That the same advice from a human always instills a little bit of hostility.
Yes.
But out of a computer, there's this strange, it's not personal, So the kids ought to have fun figuring that out. Yeah. But there's a lot of other parallels. We're already doing that. So it'd be interesting to see if the kids find the other places where it's already being applied.
Yep. That would be cool. All right. I'll put that as an extension of a lesson, right?
Right,
I had
how far down the track we've already moved?
It would be interesting. A couple more notes I made just while you were talking. The KWLA chart. I'm not asking or not saying you should change it. I think it's great the way it is, and I love that it's the way you guys have the way you have it. Would it be? I wonder how that kind of thing would work as a Google form with 4 questions, KWLA, and then basically have the kids go to the website and submit their. You can have multiple sections, of course, because you don't want to limit them to just one answer, but. Just wondering. I mean, maybe they could submit multiple times. Who knows?
And whether there's any chance for interaction between themselves, whether they can answer each other's questions before it ever gets to research or to you answering. Whether there's any way to get collaboration on what they want to know, whether anybody else in the group already knows it.
That's interesting. Yep. My second one was in your slides.
Yes.
You added links at the top for some articles.
Yep.
And that's a great kicking off point. Start like that. It'd be awesome if you also required them to find an article that had certain requirements. Like for instance, it had to be how related to the topic, maybe how technology has taken over or reduced jobs for humans. Things like that. There's lots of articles available, especially if they were look up the word Michigan, because Michigan has pretty much gone downhill based on the fact that many of the jobs were replaced by technology. Of course, the drying up of the entire city, basically. I used to live there, so I heard a lot about that kind of stuff. But obviously, those weren't the only issues. But
and if they can find the opposite side of the issue, where technology has actually expanded jobs, because that exists also.
Definitely.
I know Hawaii here, the construction industry about 20 years ago, the accountants and managements and planning personnel were all afraid that the computers were going to come in and that they could manage these big construction companies with just 1 or 2 people running everything. And they found instead that as the amount of information coming in expanded, the number of people that were needed to analyze it and either input it or report on it or figure out how to apply it also expanded. So there may be the opposite side too of where jobs have been created from it.
That's true.
Great.
That's true. Yeah.
And not just in the obvious of making robots or building computers or that in a lot of industries they haven't actually lost personnel as they've brought in technology. It's like teachers right now. Hawaii's count of teachers, I'm sure, is up. It hasn't decreased because we bring in computers to manage student data. It's gone up.
Right. Excellent. All right.
I'd like to steal your KWLA chart.
Oh, go right ahead.
When we get to my part, but you're going to see a difference when it comes to high school students on the depth of the reply compared to that 6th grader.
Yeah, she's nuts. But
That's a lot of work. Wow. Yeah.
They just kind of rise to the occasion. Then we kind of spice it up, so they add in pictures and graphics into their write-ups.
That would be an interesting thing to do too. Take that KWL chart and kind of using Google Apps, flip it, and have them create a Google slide so that they could kind of incorporate if K was just one slide and they could put pictures and audio and video, everything else in that one slide.
Sweet.
And then WLA would be the other slides, but yeah, that'd be great.
Thanks very
Okay,
much.
Greg, you want to go next? Or do you want me to go next?
No, I think I'm going to go next because I know I don't want to follow your act either. So I get sandwiched between you two guys a little bit. So.
All right, go for it.
All right, let me flip back over. Let me flip this back and go back to here. I got to stop sharing there. Come on, it's not coming out of it. Cancel or share. Come on, there we go. Okay. Full screen share. Okay, there. Have you got my screen yet?
We do.
Yep.
All right, there we go. Let me get back over. Okay, yeah. See, I can see Shane waving at himself. All right, let me get back to where I was. Let's see if I lost the other one now.
You'd never know I was such a shy person.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Have you got Othello in front of you?
We got it. Yep. Looks
Okay,
good.
this one's already done. I haven't got the nice lesson plan written up, but you can see the elements as it goes through. This was just at the beginning of this unit of this quarter, so this was about three weeks ago we did this, and I'm going to do a follow-up of about the same type of thing after we're done with Othello. But the directions on the beginning slides, the basic directions on how to pair off and find the slides or set up the slides that they need. And then a peer editing that requirements they had to go back and review their classmates. And they had never used this Control-Alt message to add comments before, so we were just beginning with that. And then it went into each of them on their slides and how they decided to decorate it. And some, oh good, now the comments are working over here. When we were looking at this earlier, I had no student names. Now, look at, say the top up here, I'm in the same account again. Why have I suddenly got, I don't know. The vagaries of jumping back and forth between a Mac and a PC sometimes. But the thing that I like about this, and if it's going to work this time, I'm going to check and see if it works entirely. Go inside and go Control Find. Oh, darn it, I didn't mean to do it that way. Control F. There we go. Nope, it still shows only one of one. Dang it. Last week, now everybody's disappeared into anonymous announcers too. See what happened there? We go back.
Was the idea to incorporate the revision history as part of the lesson?
No, I used the revision history to find out how much contribution people made. See, something kicked in. I've got it. The trouble is I must have created this in a different account.
Okay.
And now all it's showing is where it's come through Greg Mccall, but these aren't all my comments. These were all students. 20 seconds ago it was working right. When I had it on the right account, I could go down by student and I could see how many pages they'd made contributions to or what kinds of changes they had chosen to make.
Right.
So I could tell who in each of the group actually was fluent and who I needed to go back and work on.
Right.
So a lot of it I was using to build background on Othello and a way for them to share. And then at the end of this, of course, they got up and shared as team out to the class, and everybody was on their computers at the same time adding comments. But now, let me see if any of the
not so much.
are still. Yeah, something.
This is not a copy of a file, is it, Greg? It's the actual file?
It's the actual file.
Because I know there's been issues when you do that. If you copy a file, it doesn't quite bring over all the revision history and such.
Yeah, see, no, this is set from my top Googly. Yeah. Right. So this should have been live the whole time.
Okay.
So I should have been able to go, but from this, if I go directly here, I can't see the revision history. I can only see the I can't see any of this stuff from if I go in from the other side. Anyway, though, back on task. It's basically very similar to the last one, except that these are high school students, and the first time that they were working with Google Slides, they picked it up really fast, of course. And they did pick up their, whoops, we are getting some of the comments coming up on the sides. But they had a lot more than that, and I do not know what happened. Anyway, though, I am going to write this up and then redo this as a post-exam on what they've learned about Venetian society and the conflict between the racial conflict between Othello and Iago. And where high school is into looking at with literature, looking at different lenses, whether it's from a feminist or from a socialist or from a um, historical lens or cultural lens. There's the last one, is cultural, and which is the best to analyze a given piece of literature. It comes right out of Springboard, right along with the rest, the lesson plans that are built into Springboard. Are any of your schools doing Springboard, by the way?
No.
No, no.
Do
We're
you know what
elementary school, so
Springboard?
yeah.
Yes, at least in our district, the elementary schools have the younger version of it also.
Yeah, we went Wonders. So.
Yeah, I think it is called Wonders.
Springboard is another. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they lead one into the other. I'm not positive, but Springboard is an actual set curriculum, goals, objectives, what learning objectives we're targeting, etc. So this one fed right into one of those lesson plans. So all I've got to do in redoing it is rewrite it back up. The thing that worked better here, the reason for using this tool, is it did keep them on task and it did keep them interacting with each other on the topic. And that's the hardest thing with the high school students, is that they love to interact, but they don't actually stay on topic. And this is a really good way of actually monitoring how much time they spent on something and whether they were engaged in it.
Right.
So for whether or not is the best tool to do this one by, this one was pretty good. This tool works very well for this type of an activity, where you can a lot of different aspects of a topic that you can divide up as a research topic,
right,
and let them go separate ways to see what they come up with.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Cool.
Comments, suggestions?
What I would do is I'd probably add like a cool, with high schoolers, they can really debate about stuff, and some of the debates get like really heated and awesome. So it would be cool if you did like some Socratic debate with all those gender differences. I like that hilarious slide that you had, like kids getting married at 12 years old. That's like my sixth graders hooking up. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
But the rules are, sometimes some of those rules are actually quite, they're still current, which is interesting, some of them. Not all of them. Thank God, not the 12-year-old one. So if you were to use the Google apps to kind of change it into a debate form, or maybe have them search out ways to prove why they agree or disagree with certain things, that'd be cool. Or maybe they can go and create their own slides. Like you give a shared document and they can start to recreate what you have already done for them, because you've handed them a lot of information, but since they're high school, they can probably give you that, if not more.
Right.
Yeah. All we gave them at the beginning of this was the very top line, except they changed some of it.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yes. So
nice.
this part is what was on the slide that they chose.
Right.
And then
yes.
And then they do everything underneath. But this is, of course, pre to Othello. After reading Othello, the questions may be quite different.
Right.
Yeah. I like the idea of the debate and conflict, though, trying to come up with something within the story to defend.
Right.
Yeah.
I would challenge them too in utilizing some of this stuff. It would be great to see them take it to another level of displaying information, such as how about a compare and contrast Venn diagram type thing. Compare and contrasting women's roles, like for instance this one. How were the Moors Venetians regarded in Shakespeare's day versus maybe how are some other similar group regarded in today's day.
Yeah.
Compare and contrast that. One of the other ones, women's roles back then versus women's roles now, or how about
or
a
women's roles
historical
in
line?
Syria.
Right. How about a
Yeah.
historical timeline? Of how women's roles have changed over the years. Since the time when this was supposed to have been done.
I like the idea of them having to change it into a visual representation.
Yeah.
It's really easy for them to find little tidbits of things and turn it into bullet points.
Right. Yeah.
And see, look, there's the rest of their letter.
Yeah.
Yeah. And who knows, but it's very easy for them to pull up and do the bullet points. I like the idea of having to try to take their slide and turn it into a visual lesson instead, so that at least they have to process some of the information.
Right.
I'm trying to find a better.
Sorry, go ahead, Greg.
No, I'm trying to find a better idea right now for debate too, in taking sides. At the end of this, I mean, of course, Othello dies at the end and he kills his wife.
Oh,
what should
you ruined the story.
Oh, spoiler!
I know you were gonna go read it. You were gonna go read it, right?
Again. Yeah.
Yes, for the third time. If I could get my students through it once for real. Well, they did learn a very valuable lesson this week. We had a pop quiz, and somebody tweeted the letters of the answers to the quiz to the next period on.
Oh,
and fourth period going to fifth period. And they were in the middle of the test, and some of the shall I say, more challenged students were going, this doesn't make any sense. So you guys sure this answers? And I'm going, what are you guys doing? They got one out of 20 questions right because we had, of course, shuffled all the questions.
Yep, that's a good thing.
And they knew they were wrong, even in the middle of taking the test, and they had gone through. They were all looking at their at their phones. They knew the answers were wrong. They had done the research. They didn't trust their own research.
They were just.
And they still. Yep.
One suggestion on this slide, I don't know if it might be worth teaching them to take the time to teach them. See the links?
Yep.
You look right below this whole thing, the slide at the very bottom, click to add notes. That'd be a great place for them to stick those links.
Yep.
In the footnotes there.
And that would be another one also. It'd also be better to get this so that it's set as, instead of being Blogspot, at least even down in the notes what the name of the place is, because a link doesn't really tell you
right.
the reliability or what kind of a spot they got.
Yep.
Whereas on the other hand, the Shakespeare Theater Organization probably was a good website. But Rocky's split page tells me nothing.
That's Rocky's opinion, basically.
Rocky's lit page. There we go. Sorry about that. Rocky's lit page. Now it tells me more. It tells me they got information from another high school student.
Right.
Who actually put together his own lit page.
Right.
Yeah.
So these pages were put up and all in real time, like during your class?
Yep.
Okay. So they had to do the research right then and there. It wasn't like they could go home and.
Yep.
Okay, gotcha.
Nope. This was all within about a 40-minute period, as fast as they could do it, and then the second half they had to get up and talk about it. So we have 80-minute class, 40 minutes, and then I think on 9 teams, and 9 teams had basically 4 minutes to talk on their topic as fast as they could.
You know what would be? I don't know if you've experienced the Iron Chef sessions that they've been doing at ISTE did it, and Chad mentioned it in class. Those would be some great. I think it would be a great application. Sorry, Chrissy just commented. Anyway, she fell asleep. Sorry.
She did not. Okay.
She did, yeah.
I'm trying to get her back. There she is. Okay.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah. She's just playing Minecraft while we're talking. I see the Minecraft in your classes. See, there she.
So what would be good about that, Greg, is if you added the aspect of Iron Chef, because it sounds like that's kind of what you did. is you did something similar to that, but basically each of you gets a slide. You have to present that slide. I'm going to give you these secret ingredients. Those secret ingredients being those questions, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that way they're not like, I'm going to rush to pick this slide because, well, I think the secret ingredients are just you randomly come up, like we did it in class, come up, grab a piece of paper, go back. That's the slide you're creating. You know, and you must, you know, you put the requirements in. So maybe you have to require, like using the different apps or using a different, you know, Docs, Excel, or sorry, Excel, sheets or presentations, Draw, you know, Google Draw. Or maybe you require them to incorporate 2 different versions. So you have to have a drawing and a doc, or a presentation and a draw. You know, something like that would be kind of great in stepping it up and basically improve that rigor of it and tell them, you know, kind of things like, you know, well, we don't want just straight facts, but, you know, compare and contrast. You can do all kinds of great things. I think having those would that
would give it more form.
Yeah, we give it more form, we give it more, and then the presentation would be a lot more lively. Have them use the cameras. I don't know if you have cameras on your computer.
Yeah, we do.
Videos.
See, just in between the time of doing this a few weeks ago to now, when they get to do the after ones, they'll have the actual Chromebooks in their hands.
Right.
So that'll be a good.
Yeah.
I could also require a little instead of the quotation, it has to be performed.
There you go. Some kind of definitely. Even if they just did it like right in front of the screen, you know, at least they're reading the lines. That'd be awesome. I think, and then having them use multimedia, different multimedia, right? It's gonna reinforce the actual skills of using that, and 2, the engagement level is gonna be way higher.
Yeah, and suddenly getting that pulls in the how to post video to Google Drive and then cite it back.
Exactly. Yeah.
Sharing
permissions, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. That would make the end of the year a lot of fun. Oh, hello.
Good morning.
What's up, Jesse?
Wow, you just popped on full screen there.
How did you sleep at 8 o'clock? Earlier than 8 o'clock.
Taking a nap.
Oh my god.
I went to Alani, so I'm like so tired.
Oh. Okay, I don't feel bad for you anymore. Screw that.
I know, sorry. I was like, oh my god, what's happening? I usually do not sleep in the middle of the day. I mean, I'm so extra tired.
You didn't get the memo about the sunglasses too? Oh.
You know, I do have those, you know, because I put those in my daughter's favor bags for her first birthday.
Great. We're wearing first birthday 1-year-old glasses.
For the boys. They love them.
Nice. All right, so well, we welcome Chrissy to the live hangout, and Claire has shared hers, and Greg has just finished sharing his session. So maybe while Chrissy gets her stuff up and going, and then I'll just share mine, and then we can hopefully I don't get that weird hangout sharing thing glitch where I have to drop out and come back in, but I'll share my lesson, and then we'll move on to Chrissy and she can get hers done. So let me do some screen share here. To give you a background on my project that I've been working on, we, of course, anybody who doesn't know me, I do a lot of lessons in Minecraft, so of course this has to do with Minecraft. Yeah. So our 4th grade class is working on designing a zoo, with the focus being on area, perimeter, and number ops, basically math concepts. But we're going to use Minecraft. We're going to build the zoo. We're going to do some crazy things. I've given them basically a $1 million budget to complete this zoo. That $1 million has to go towards purchasing animals, personnel for the zoo, and also to physically build the zoo. Every piece that they use to build the zoo, they're going to have to pay for. So what I've done to incorporate Google Apps for this is we've been using it as a collaborative. The groups are 3 to 5 students, and we're using right now we're using this document that you're looking at right now. That was the base format for them. I try to give them examples of how to cost for a sheep, showing me the formula. Everybody knows that with the current SBAC and Common Core, it's more important to show your work than it is the actual answer. So having them learn how to demonstrate or to show their thinking process in math on a digital document is really hard for them right now. And these are, again, 4th graders. So I'm just giving them more practice doing this kind of stuff. So, you know, here we have him explaining where he got the numbers from, a number sentence, and then of course the final cost. And then again for area, if the initial animal needed 64, each additional needs 4. This is how they figured it out. Then we'll talk about, okay, how could you translate that into a multiplication sentence inside. And then of course, just to add to it, because they're going to create animal habitats, they had to go and research what habitat those animals came from. So you'll see in my classroom, I've actually given them 2 docs that, oops, showing all kinds of stuff here. I've given them 2 documents. One is the Minecraft wiki page, and the other one is another link to a mod that I'm using to get more animals into the game. And each of them have to basically look at the websites, figure out what's important, and write it down here. Moving on, so once they've decided, this is a list, the species list that the students that they had received. Each of them has to pick 2 animals. The entire zoo must have at least 8 different species of animals. So this is the cost, the habitat, world region, and then the space requirements, area for the initial animal and for any additional animal. The minimum family group size. So basically they're applying the concepts of multiplication, area, perimeter, all that kind of stuff in a real world type of situation where they would have to come up with this. So each individual animal's cost, that kind of thing. So they're basically, this is just a document that they're going to refer to. It's a reference document. Yes. And then they would take it into this document. Again, each of them would use a line to tell me which species they decided to pick and do other calculations. So this is kind of what it looks like after the students are done. This is one of my groups who have already completed this. So they decided to pick a bear, a horse, camel, sheep, snake, hermit crab, gazelle, and a turtle. And they went through and figured out the family sizes, desired how many they wanted, because I did not limit to them just for the family size. They had to, if they wanted more, like for instance, she wants 3 horses and they only have to have 2, but she had to account for that in her budget, which she did, and into her area, of course, as well. And then, of course, she has a total of 23 animals. The total space, for some reason, she put dollars in there, but 782 square meters, and it's going to cost them $35,800, which I think she needs to double check her numbers, but yeah, they look kind of low to me. Again, a learning process for us to go through this, and one, having them using digital documents. It's our first year using Google, so it's been pretty interesting seeing them go through this kind of process. They've really taken it to it well, and now we're going to start applying this into designing enclosures and their zoo. Yeah, so that's basically how I'm using Google Docs right now. So any suggestions, any thoughts? I did think about using Sheets, in case anybody was wondering, for this one. My problem being, of course, is that K5's focus is actually on number ops and calculations, and SBAC does not require them to use or does not provide them with a calculator. So therefore, they have to actually know how to do their own calculations. Teaching them to use forms to use sum and functions within spreadsheets would be great, except that it wouldn't help them with their calculations. So that's my first lesson that I'm going to be sharing, or that I shared. Any suggestions? Let me get to my document so I can write down all the thousands of suggestions you're going to give me.
How do you gamify it? Sorry.
I'm sorry?
How does it become a game?
How does it become a game?
Yeah, what is it? Do they compete against each other? Can you gamify it?
Oh, definitely. They're definitely in competition with each other. They understand that. It's not even a competition that I purposely created, put it that way. They just don't want to have the number 8 zoo when there's only 8 groups.
What's the criteria for ranking them?
Yeah, so basically it'll be their budget. Did they come in under budget? How much did they come in under budget? And then each of their zoos will get evaluated by the students. So we've done this similar exercise in 5th grade when we did roller coaster design. So I'm applying it to 4th grade, and what we'll do is in 5th grade what we did was we actually used a Google form, and there was 35 evaluations of their roller coaster. So we'll do the same thing with 4th grade, and we'll have each group will get 35 evaluations of their zoo based on the variety of species they've selected, their budget. They'll know their budget numbers ahead of time, how the zoo is physically presented to them when they walk through it in Minecraft. Is there a system of transportation? Do I have to walk around the zoo? Are the animals easy to, to view, that kind of stuff? So typically when we get to that point, what I did with the fifth graders was we actually had them help me create the rubric by which it would be graded. So they created the form with me. I gave them general outlines or guidelines, and then they kind of said, oh, but it'd be nice if we added this to it. And this is kind of important when people are visiting a zoo. So it's huge discussions and reflections that we have when we do this kind of stuff. So the gamification is in there. Again, not on purpose. It's there because they like to compete with one another. The game-based learning is definitely there because then once they physically do these, it's one thing to do calculations on paper. It's an entire another thing to do it on paper, then physically build this thing and see, oh, it doesn't quite work. Plus the land that they have to build on, I purposely made it look amoeba-shaped, so it actually isn't, there's no square corners, there's nothing. So they're going to have to somehow fit all of these required spaces, these required enclosures into that.
So they have a limitation on land also then.
Yes, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think I tried to make it roughly less than 5,000 square meters total. Yeah. But again, it's rounded edges. It's there's little indents and divots and stuff like that that make it incredibly hard just to fit a square area into any one place. So.
Okay, well, one thing I would suggest is, which you could probably add to it, is just something I saw on like a kid's SBAC practice thing from last year. Okay. And they had
I didn't see that and I didn't hear it.
No. But this was the practice, okay? This is the trial run. Schools were testing it out. And for their performance task for English, they actually had to take like 2 financial plans. Like the mom came up with a financial plan, the dad came up with a financial plan, and they had to write a formal essay as to who was right. And so I thought we could kind of apply that to the zoo concept. Right, okay. So you can apply that to the zoo concept and maybe have them formulate almost like an executive summary. When you put the zoo together, so on Google Docs, create an executive summary, make it look professional. So the first page will be, of course, something like a picture and all their names. Then use Google Draw to screenshot their Minecraft land, their Minecraft zoo.
Having a screenshot of it,
pieces of it, like this, the aerial view and all that stuff. And then they can use Google Draw to kind of just kind of map it out, label it like a scientific diagram, and kind of have that in there. So to talk about the perimeter and area part of it, you can use it to talk about, the cost per area, why they structured it in a certain way, handicap exits, like fire escape, a really complicated, cool-looking fire escape plan.
Right.
That'd be cool.
Okay, definitely, yeah. There is a personnel order form as well, and it's kind of interesting to see. We took the job descriptions from the San Diego Zoo, and we added it. Actually, that aspect of the project wasn't even in there originally until I presented the project to the students, and one of them asked, well, who's going to work here? Us, like the player, right? They thought, well, and they're like, well, can we get characters to run around and be the zookeeper and be the manager and be the ticket person and stuff? So I said, sure, we can add that. So that actually added to the expenses in their budget, which was funny because they were okay doing that. Then I realized that most of them were spending most of their money on their personnel, which is true. I mean, 90-something% of our budget in schools goes to personnel. So so that's definitely something. And then I like that idea of compare and contrasting 2 different perspectives. And maybe what we can do is create in sheets, if I had them create a budget, a graph for the budget, and then write their own executive summary and hand that out to their classmates before they even visit the zoo. Here's what you're coming to see. Here's what you're going to do. That would be kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Why I think my zoo is number 1 and not number 8. I like it. Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay. Greg, you still with us? It's hard to tell.
Yeah, I'm still with you. I'm trying to see if I can think of anything else can add to that. Yeah. I'm a little shocked sometimes that you guys' things are so much, in some ways, more advanced than what the high school students are doing actually. So.
I don't know. I mean, I just aim high.
I could see a way to use Minecraft though with the social studies class right now.
Oh,
I'm getting
definitely.
ideas that
Yeah.
aren't connected to my English class.
Right.
Yeah.
Chrissy, you okay?
Yeah, it sounds.
All right.
I don't know.
Let
I'm
me
trying to think
let
of.
us know when you're ready. We'll just stall.
No, I'm trying to think of anything, but I can't. It's pretty good. I mean, the only thing I can think of is if you. I don't know if you want to have them assess each other. You know, like maybe make like a Google form,
hmm
and they can evaluate each other's.
Well,
Or like the zombie thing, and we won.
Mm.
they
Yeah.
ought to
Yeah,
We
find
definitely won that hands down.
they ought to find each other's math mistakes for
That
starters.
is true. I thought about that because we've gone
Yeah.
through several iterations of this where they've checked, and they're like, "Oh no, it's definitely good now," and I'm
Yeah.
sure I find another mistake. So we've been using comments, and that's actually one of the things I'm not totally in love with comments is that because they can hit that resolve button and the comment
Oh, it disappears.
disappears. I'd rather it just. I've been telling them just reply to me. Don't delete it because you guys didn't see any comments on that, but I'd actually made several comments,
right.
and when they resolved it, they just hit the resolve button and it disappears. So when you see it on the screen, it's not there anymore. So, but I did comment on this, so it's not just giving them this work. I'll
I
show you
thought
the
I thought
form.
there was a way to see all the comments regardless of whether they were resolved.
Yeah,
I'm
I
pretty
think
sure you
you can.
can, but I
Yeah.
just like them being on like all the
Yeah,
time.
Yeah.
Like
when
this is
you
what you've
resolve it,
worked
it
with.
disappears from sight. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Let me try to quickly pull up the roller coaster design form that I used. So, and see if I can share this with you guys. So here's the. Did it come on? There it is. Yeah. So here's the live form that we used. Of course, it's closed now. I need permission. Oh, because I'm in this. I'm on two different accounts. Hang on.
Oh yeah, you're on your personal one.
My work one versus my.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's go in here. Files. Please ignore my incredibly anal folder system.
Um, they're only fourth graders, so kind of hard. But do you do anything as far as weather or location in the world as to whether savanna costs more than tropical versus
Hmm.
desert versus reptile, which would be a building in
Right.
an enclosed structure?
Right. Well, one of
Yeah.
the things I did think about incorporating was after going to whose session did I go to in the summit? I think it was Ben Friesen, and he went to 10 different ways to use Google Maps. I was
Yeah.
actually thinking of having them go to Google Maps, find somewhere in the real world that relates to the biomes for these animals, and actually
Yeah.
link it. Kind of like we did with our zombie
Yeah.
apocalypse, where we linked the items we were going to bring,
Yeah.
but selecting biomes, maybe pictures and short information about where they're building, because I want them to understand that they have to do research, but because they are only fourth grade, it's not like we're going to be doing full, essay papers on each biome. But I just want a kind of a brief synopsis of what this biome is and how it adapts and stuff. So
What's the little funny building blocks on Google Maps? Also, they've got a program that allows you to build things with God, I'm blanking out. Somebody help me out.
I'm not sure. Google
Yeah,
Maps has blocks?
yeah, Google Maps has a toy game
Oh, the
attached to it
Legos.
now that yeah,
Oh.
Lego Maps. There you go.
Oh yeah.
But where you can actually choose a real place, like pick up the space over behind someplace actually on Oahu to
To
set
find
your
and
zoo.
put it. Yeah, that would be interesting for
but
sure.
but where they also have to, as part of it, find space somewhere on Oahu that would give them transportation, enough people coming,
Right.
and cost of land. Ooh, that gets almost complicated enough for sixth graders instead of high school people.
Yeah. Remember, these kids are 9 and 10. So.
Yeah.
But no, I agree, and I honestly
Yeah.
think they could possibly do something like that. How
Yeah.
could you add in the cost of land? Maybe the cost of land, I provide them because I didn't show the map, but let me
Yeah.
see if I can click it up here. But so if you see on my screen share, sorry, before we go away from that, this is what I used with the fifth graders when they were ranking their zoos. So they would pick one of the 8 groups.
Uh-huh.
So let's say I picked the red group, and then they would go through. Okay, I went through the right entrance. Was it poor, very poor to excellent, 1 to 5? They would rank all of these, and then they went and ranked these were 3 experiments that we did within the roller coasters. So they actually referred to using height to gain speed as opposed to using powered rails all the time. How many powered rails did they use, and the number of turns they had, and they ranked that as well. So basically what was awesome is that each group was given 35 different assessments, 33 to 35, depending on how many kids were in my class that day. But and then they got to look through them, and then we averaged them out and decided who was, top roller coaster and the bottom roller coaster. So the only thing I think I would add to this is maybe comments, like optional comments. If people wanted to comment on, I really like this aspect of yours or that aspect of you, because it really didn't provide them with an opportunity to say, this was awesome, or you could have done better on this. So that's what I might change, and that's how I plan on assessing the zoos as well. So let me close this, and I was going to show you. What were you just mentioning? Oh, Greg, you were asking about the zoos. Yeah. So the land, what we could do is, if I had the picture of it in here, which of course I do not. Anyway, I have it's a custom-made map for Minecraft, and what I did was there's a center island where we spawn on, and there's 8 surrounding islands around it. Each of them is a different biome. I could actually cost each island be a different cost. So right up front, do you want to pay for a lot of land and make it a lot easier for you to fit everything in, or a smaller piece of land, but you're going to be more precise about where you put things, and it'll be cheaper for you. So that might be a good aspect to add to the project as well.
And then they have to do analysis of how much it costs to build there.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, now is my video going to come back? Nobody sees me. I just see a blank screen now.
We're still looking at your zoo purchase order.
Oh, it's catching up maybe.
Yeah.
Now you can look at my desktop. No?
Nope, not yet.
Okay, it's glitching again. All right, so Christy, you ready?
What? Sorry.
Are you ready?
Oh, yeah. Well, mine is, I just kind of started. So my first thing is like an internet safety unit with 4th and 5th graders. And just kind of working with them to do just how to, like, internet tact, how to be safe, and especially because a lot of them, they're going to middle school right from 5th grade already. So I kind of, so far, what I did was I started to give pre-tests to, like, the classes that I'm going into on Monday. So it's like it's just a form. And then do you guys see it?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, so it's just, and I told them, I don't expect them to do well. I want to know what they don't know. So it just kind of asks about social networking and usernames, that kind of stuff. And then I'm just working on what is it? I'm doing like a Google presentation with them. So they're gonna build a Google presentation, and so I'm gonna break it up into groups, and then each group is gonna get like a vocabulary word, and then we're just gonna do a tree map where they have to, like, define the word and then come up with dangers or things, cautions, and then examples. So, like, we'll do like cyberbullying, so basically I would just want the kids to please stop, sorry. I just want the kids to, like, come up with it on their own, and then once each group has their tree map done, they're just going to present it to the class, and then I'm just going to give them the post test and see how well that's for the first lesson. So, but I'm definitely not done with the unit. You guys are, like, so ahead. Oh my god.
No.
I just started.
No, I'm not that much ahead of you. I'm about the same spot.
Yeah, so I kind of started. Like I said, I gave the pre-test to the 2 classes I have tomorrow afternoon, and I started to build the presentation. I'm almost done, but I'm gonna finish it tomorrow because I have nothing in the morning. So.
Mm.
Yeah, so we'll see how it goes with the first two, and then I'll oh, and then I'm using like a couple videos like Brain Pop, and then I want the kids to comment on the Google presentation after at the end. They're supposed to. So group one is going to comment on group two's, and each kid has to say one thing that they liked about it or whatever.
Okay.
I'm still thinking that part too.
Well, the comments, I've done that actually a lot just in the last couple of weeks. And the comments, the kids really seem to get into it. Like I did for the Google Summit class, my lesson was like Google Draw, where they were visually mapping out a process, a flow chart, basically.
Oh, yeah.
And it was awesome because they would go in and say, oh, this isn't how, of course, Minecraft, it was on how to build certain things in Minecraft, but understanding what a raw material was, a process material, this kind of stuff, tools. And kids would go in and highlight something and make comments. They were doing it really fluidly. So
Oh, good.
it's awesome
I
to see
have
them
used
do
it
that
a
kind of
little
stuff.
bit. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I use it mostly in my GT, so I haven't used
Mm.
too much with the inside in the classroom. So we'll see how it goes.
Right.
Yeah.
You might find some good info and some interesting videos too on Common Sense Media. They have their own internet safety guides section. So we post up a lot of stuff. Common Sense Media, yeah. And actually, they do everything from ranking videos and music and games and stuff like that. But they actually have their own school educator section, and then there's a parent family section for internet safety. So,
Oh, that's good.
one of the things we just posted up this month's newsletter at our school, we posted up screen time. And I posted up a bunch of links for parents to read up about screen time and what's active versus passive screen time, and things like that. So I try to put up something every month from there that helps the parents feel a little more comfortable with what we're doing.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Chrissy, one thing I would add to that is if you look at the screen share that I have, I had the kids do this on the first day actually before they got their Chromebooks. But now I'm thinking, well, see, I had to do this before the Chromebook because we didn't have Google stuff then. I would then put all this Chromebook rules, proper netiquette or safety in your case, give them a note-taking form, on the Google apps, and they can take notes and submit it to you digitally. So this is like 6th grade, turning it in. That's the commas one.
Cornell.
This is another student. That Cornell. It looks like Cornell. We also had posters to make them, kind of take ownership. The kids didn't really care so much about the rules, but the moment you make them pick a rule that's the most important to them and you display it on the wall, they really like that. And so, of course, you can use Google Draw for this or Google Presentations, whatever. Print out the best ones and, just kind of, steal your office color printer or whatever. And then, print out the best ones, put them on the wall. And I think that would be cool to use with Google Draw as a final end-all to your introduction of internet safety.
Mm-hmm.
So you know the rules? You gave them the rules? Or they made up their own rules?
See, this was actually taken from the contracts. All the paperwork you fill out.
Like the video.
I made them read it.
That is an awesome picture right there.
I know.
Everything. They had to explain to their parents, what their job was. They put it in note form. Then they
got it.
They want. Yeah.
It would be awesome to take that one step further, and actually we're kind of debating about doing this at school right now since I've had, 3 brand new laptops in 6th grade get smashed.
What?
Yeah, like just knocked off desks and stuff like that. But we're actually thinking about having the people who have these infractions do videos on how to properly handle laptops and stuff like that.
Community
it
service.
Might be a step further. Yeah, community service, exactly. So it might be a step further to take it beyond that and say, have them act out something and record it on laptops and stuff.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, make a video, and then you can broadcast it to the whole school.
Yeah, exactly. Then it becomes a PSA, right, as opposed
like
to just an internal project. So that'd be awesome.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Claire. That's a good idea. I'm going to do that. As you can see, I'm a professional.
Yeah, funny thing is how applicable it is on the high school level. That we've got exactly the same sets of problems, but the kids are less agreeable to rules to begin with. Yeah. But I like the PSA business.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we're going to probably end up having a series of videos that we put out, and we don't have that many infractions, but maybe those kids will want
Oh,
to step up and do some more of them. So,
you guys are all working in flat table environments too, aren't you?
um,
Not in the desk seat combination.
no, we're in desk seat. My lab is not, but all the classrooms are desk and seats. So
Is that why they're getting knocked off? Is that they're on a slanted
it's
table and trying to
there's
balance
two
books?
two schools of thoughts with that, I guess. One, in my opinion, and strictly just my opinion, we have not had this happen until we started separating the group. We used to have pods, right? Pods of desks, so for more collaborative, because both Stepping Stones and Wonders requires collaborative type of talk. But once some of the teachers have shifted to more rows and columns type of thing, and ever since the kids can have access from the backside, we've had these accidents. So,
Yeah.
I don't want to limit them in how they set up their room. That's totally their decision. But if it's going to cost us $350 in repair every time somebody knocks one off the table, it's going to be pretty expensive to keep it going. So,
Yeah. Mm.
and of course, you could say, well, the kids need to be more, you need to be more careful and all that kind of stuff. But they are kids. They're going to knock stuff off. So.
Well, we're in an environment where most of these seats were designed for elementary or mid-school students, and the boys barely fit on it as it goes. So if they try to write anything beside the Chromebook on that desk, they're out of desk space.
Right.
We're trying to dump and go to flat tables, but trying to get the rules in place and how to get them to teach it. I like the idea of making PSA.
Mm-hmm.
And it might work for a lot of other things with school management other than just managing Chromebooks.
Right.
Well,
I know at the elementary level, another thing I was thinking of having them work on, one of the tech projects I think would be kind of cool is, every year, every teacher explains their processes for turning in homework or lining up for lunch or things like that. Imagine if the kids could just see those videos all the time if they wanted to. The kids need refreshers halfway through the school year. Oh, I forgot how I'm supposed to do this or that. Well, here you go. Click on the link. Go ahead and watch the video that this year's class made for next year. Kind of a passing on message to the next grade level, right?
Yeah.
As they come in. So this is what to expect when you come to this classroom. So.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. Well, we've actually filled up our hour, which is we're actually over our hour now, but anybody else have any last things to share? I don't know if we're supposed to share our second one, but that would take another hour. So I think we'll just share one for now. And if Chad deems that we need to share the other one, we can always meet again sometime.
I think we're going to probably do it more in class on Saturday, too. Because I think they're going to give us time to work on our portfolio.
Yeah. I wish I was going to be there with you guys.
You're not there. That's right. Have fun.
Yeah, I'm going to be teaching teachers how to play video games.
Yeah,
so.
that sounds fun.
Yeah.
The Minecraft thing is really interesting, though. So the kids actually take a tour of those zoos built in Minecraft as part of their evaluation.
Yes, yeah. It's amazing. It just adds a whole nother dimension to the learning and the discussions because, I could tell you on paper, right, Greg, that yes, this will fit in my area, right?
Yeah.
Because I only need 900.
Do it.
Right. When you actually get it in there and you're trying to work this thing around and like, oh my gosh, this doesn't fit. This square peg doesn't fit in this round hole type thing. But then they've got to critical think, problem solve, and all that kind of stuff, right, to get it to work. So. Plus, they're going to get to walk through their zoo. It's not just like I'm telling you to draw it on paper and this figmentation of your imagination is going to be, it's a great zoo. You're actually going to get to walk through it and decorate it and put plants and put all kinds of stuff to make it more appealing. And, it's pretty awesome.
Well, and back to Claire's thing, too. Minecraft does the business of separating out the teachers being the person that doesn't say this won't fit inside of here. When you start arguing with the game and the rules of that environment, there's the entity technically is the computer's the boss again because it's created the rules of that game and you're just learning the rules of that game. It's but the consistency trust that's there.
Right. One of the things that doesn't come across in the digital documents too is the creativity aspect of it. So although I have them researching the different biomes and what's in them, how they arrange the actual enclosure for the animal is going to be totally up to them. You know, how they arrange their zoo,
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. So it'll be interesting to see how creative they are, because every single roller coaster we did, I
Yeah.
was thinking, oh my gosh, it's very similar. The physics are very similar, so they're going to come up with very similar things. I was totally wrong. I
Yeah.
have 16 roller coasters, and every single one of them looks totally different. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. So.
Got huge potential there, though.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah. All right.
If I could
If
figure out how to
anybody-
get Othello into that, I would.
Hey, don't laugh.
I'm
There's
not
a-
laughing. I'm still.
here's-
I need
here's,
to learn to play Minecraft now.
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah. Take a look at some stuff called I always say it wrong, but it looks like machinima. Like,
Oh.
but I think
Machin-
it's a Japanese machinima or something, maybe. Anyway.
Deus Ex Machina.
What? I didn't hear that first word, but I'm gonna assume it wasn't what I thought it was.
There's a Greek word, machina.
Maybe.
Divine intervention.
Is it
Yep.
okay? No.
Yeah, see,
maybe.
we've got a lit person
Claire,
jump.
look at
He's
that.
trying to
Yeah.
pretend to be
Hey.
sexy.
It's
He
video
had the
games.
Othello.
Yeah.
Video game.
Well, Claire, have you seen the I wish I could show that one. Anyway, let me get back to the focus back on it. What that is, it's basically in Minecraft. There's a whole bunch of these videos that are student created, and they basically do acting and animation videos through Minecraft. Now, if you
Oh.
added voiceovers on that, so
Yeah.
if you basically had them recreate the scenes within Othello and
Yeah.
actually reenacted that within Minecraft, I mean, think about how awesome that would be versus just, hey, we're going to read this, and here's the
Yeah.
test, and, you know, blah, blah, blah. Trust me, at some point, Greg, they don't even care that it's blocks anymore. They don't even
Yeah.
see that it's blocks. All they see
Yeah.
is, you know, this is
Cool. Yeah, I see Claire over there. Yeah.
Claire.
Yeah.
Don't make me pull out all my toys back here. 'Cause
You see,
a lot of
Romeo and Juliet with the sword fights would be a lot better, maybe, though.
I'm gonna get some street kid cred with Claire right here.
Oh,
okay?
there you
Watch
go.
this.
There you go.
Watch this. Where's my?
Oh my goodness.
What? Oh, my thing is like blue.
I have so many Star Wars and Lego toys, and you
Yeah.
name it. But yeah, I mean, you know, great. I think that'd be, you know, if you were interested and if your school actually wanted to get it, you know, if they were willing to give it to you and stuff, I definitely would come
Here's
try to
my
help.
Legos.
Oh, look at
It was like
that.
pretty
Look
princess.
at that.
Unicorn.
That's all.
Princess.
I gotta come take your workshop on Minecraft. That's what I gotta do.
Yeah, well, my next one will be at the Kamehameha conference in the June 8, 9, 10 one, I think.
All right.
I'm actually doing 2 sessions. Well, 2 sessions of Minecraft and 1 session of Lego stop motion video, which is awesome
Oh,
and fun to
cool.
play with. But
Who's putting it on? How?
Kamehameha.
Or just send me the link.
Kamehameha schools.
Is it open or is it?
I'm not sure if it's open, but it's pretty cheap. It's pretty inexpensive, and it's an awesome thing to come to. And then beyond that, I'll be at ISTE. If you're going to be at ISTE, I'm presenting Minecraft at ISTE, but it's not a hands-on. I like doing the hands-on workshops because I like getting
Yeah.
people actually in there and playing with it. But
I'm taking your coding class.
yeah, I
Which
saw that. Claire
which
signed up
is-
for my coding class, and a bunch of your school actually did. And Naomi just asked if we could do one at your school, and
which
if
ISTE
it
are
wasn't good
you?
enough people. Sorry, what's
Which
that?
ISTE are you presenting at?
The one in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was multiple ISTEs.
I've been to 3 in the last 5 years.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I'm presenting at ISTE, and I think Monday the 29th, right, 11 to 12 is my session, so I don't know where because I keep moving things around. But beyond that, I'm actually hoping, I've been invited to come to the Microsoft booth because they're putting on Minecraft since they purchased it, and they want me to come help them too, so it'll be pretty exciting. Yeah. So yeah, but I mean, I'd be willing to, if you wanted to see if we could do something like this. I even have a program. Well, I don't have it; it's not mine. But there's a program called Minimator, which is a full-on animation program that uses Minecraft graphics. It's not Minecraft, but it uses Minecraft graphics, and you can fully like the arms moving, heads tilting, all that kind of stuff.
Cool.
I've had kids create 30-second animations in that, but you could add audio to that too,
Yeah.
and have them recreating this play. Right? It's
Yeah.
super awesome the things you can do with it. So.
Well, by the time you, just like with the slides, by the time you divide enough between enough students, you know, especially when you've got a school where all of the seniors are doing Othello.
Right.
You know,
Right.
That's still
So how many
280 kids.
Yeah. Now, if
The-
each of them took a scene, a group of 5
30
kids,
seconds, bam, you could
you'd
go
have
through
an
the whole
entire
thing.
play. That would be so awesome.
Yeah.
That
Well,
would be
that'd be
super
fun
awesome.
too, because then the kids would be sitting there watching for their own section to flash
Yeah.
by.
Yeah, yeah. They're invested, right? They're invested
Yeah,
in the entire project, which is awesome. So, yeah.
that's it.
Um,
That's an
we
idea worth trying out.
Yeah, we did a third grade. They're 8-year-olds, but we basically took common bedtime stories, recreated the scenes within Minecraft, and now we're
Hmm.
putting in the characters, and then we're
Yeah.
going to use the in-game command blocks, which is kind of a little bit of programming, where as the person walks through the path, they're going to be told the story as they walk through the scenes. So
Oh, cool.
yeah, so it's not quite
Yeah.
acting, but then we could always switch that coding to voiceover, and it would be almost the same thing, right? So
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know what Claire's looking at over there.
Mine emitter. Let me
Oh,
see.
there it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's got the mind
Yeah.
emitter up.
She's got mine.
Yeah.
Sorry, I
Very
have
good.
to put my daughter to sleep.
Okay.
All right.
No
Yeah.
problem.
So my husband works. He only has Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off. So I'm on my own. But then, are we Paul? Yeah, are we Paul?
Yeah.
Sorry,
we're
and I
done.
came late.
Actually, you can. Let's just close this off. So this will be the end, and then if you guys want to talk afterwards, you can go talk offline. But
This.
thank you, Claire. Thank you, Greg, and thank you, Chrissy, for coming and sharing. I hope everyone's lessons go well, and if you've already taught them, I hope we've given you something to think about for next year. And I think we're done for our session. I'm going to stop broadcasting. See ya.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.